Good evening and hello. After a nice restful bye round, here we are for our first Facebook live show as we preview the TLT, so Teamless Tuesday, and the game against the Raiders this weekend, round 16 on Sunday at 4:05 at Amy Park. It's a home game, and we'll talk a little bit more about what the game means and what it is. But Azza, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, mate. It's been a good week off, just cruising around here, and no basketball tonight. We've got the week off before the grand final next week. We went straight through, so it's been a nice, relaxing week off, but it's good to have a Teamless Tuesday and be talking about the footy again.
Teamless Tuesday, that's exactly right. And our game preview, mate. Surprise, it is a live show. We've actually only just reached live show eligibility, so it's all based on age and things, apparently, according to what Facebook wants to tell us. We're still yet to meet the YouTube eligibility, so it's not being streamed live to YouTube, but it will still end up on a recording as like your standard podcast that you'll be able to get through Spotify, through Apple, through YouTube. Go in there and you'll still watch it. As you can see by the background here, we are in a little bit of technical difficulties. It's not bad. It's just that the way that we placed it, I was sitting there with my wife just before the podcast around the background and stuff, and everything just happened so quick when we got told that it was a live show, Aaron. But we're super excited. We're pretty keen, and this is the first of many live shows.
Yeah, just we got to trial it and we got to start somewhere. So yeah, a bit of a teething process, but hopefully this works and everyone can listen along.
I'll make it pretty. I'll get all the intro music, outro music, and I'll figure it all out. But today it's just let's get in, talk the footy, enjoy it. If you've got anything you want to say, get into the chat. We can see it here. It says we've got the live chat that we're waiting for anyone and everyone to come on in. We'll attempt to try and answer them as we go. If we don't get to them, we'll try and get to them at the end. But just give comments, talk to us, do all that sort of stuff, and that's pretty fun. That'll be pretty fun, and we'll talk to them as much as we can. Aaron, I know that this is a favourite. I know that we missed it last week. What's one thing you've noticed?
I've noticed that I said to you they weren't pumping up Origin down here much, but the talk this week's really ramped up now that Origin's here. They're talking 90,000+ at the G. That got my ass into gear, and I bought a ticket just because I didn't want to miss out on being part of that. So I'm going now. I'm sitting on my own, and I'm just going to put my sports ears in and hopefully watch a good game. And I'm sitting right up the top, like second or third row from the back. But I think it's going to be a good view from up there personally. I might be a long way away, but at least at the G, you might be able to get to see the gameplay there. So I'm excited. I really, really want Queensland to win this one because I want Game 3 to be live. I just have a little feeling that New South Wales are going to fire up. So fingers
Don't
crossed.
say that.
Okay. Fingers crossed Queensland can get the win and we can get a live Game 3 because I think the series deserves it after Game 1.
The series absolutely deserves it. Aaron, is there a chance that you can just turn your volume up a little bit more? I know it's a little bit dull for some reason since I clicked on the live, but we could still hear you, but it's just a little bit lower. Funny, what's one thing I noticed? Actually, the timing of this is perfect. So I'm a teacher, I'm in year 5, and one of my kids come to me, we do a daily joke every day, and one of my kids came in and said, Mr. H, I've got the perfect joke for you, especially because you got your podcast tonight. And I went, oh, here we go. Yeah. So what are you going to do? And he goes, Mr. H, what's the difference between the Melbourne Storm and the rest of the NRL? Got an answer for me, Aaron?
What, Mr. H? No, I don't.
Nah, he says the rest of the league plays rugby league while the Storm play rugby architecture. And I was like, oh, that could have gone anywhere. I had a laugh. I thought, I'm going to bring that up today. I'm going to bring it up. And that's just, yeah, I love my kids. I love what they do. And it's fantastic. Aaron, we've got a few talking points before I want to start talking sponsors and some bits and pieces about the game. Hello, Sean. G'day, Jorge. I've said that right now. I know it's exactly that. Jorge was our winner of our Origin jersey a few weeks ago. So g'day, buddy. G'day, Daniel. We've got a few things that have happened. We had a week off, obviously, last week for the first bye. Well-deserved. We all enjoyed it, apart from the fact that I got a few itchy feet and needed to do a stream on some card breaks, which are actually held up here somewhere. Harry Grant won. My daughter loves Harry Grant. And there was a lot of things that happened whilst we were away. And we tried to keep the news up and we kept the posts going, but we didn't get to talk about it. So the first one that we want to talk about, Aaron, is Tui. Tui Kamikamica came out a couple of days ago. News around that he's unlikely to play at the Storm again. So having some setbacks and things with his recovery from his stroke. G'day, Darian.
Yeah, look, the way I read into that is it sounds to me like Tui wants to play, and he's made it clear that he wants to come back because everything he's saying is he wants to be part of the World Cup and he wants to play for Fiji at the end of the year in October. So if he's portraying that message, he's obviously been told that, he can play, but the Storm obviously feel like he's not in a position where they're comfortable with him coming back so quick. So for the Storm, I just don't think we'll see Tui play again. Obviously, he's only signed for the 1 year. We got him on cheapest chips this year and put him in the leadership team. And this might be the last year that he plays at the club. So it is sad that he doesn't get to run out because he was getting a game earlier in the year. But I do think rushing him back from something so serious it's not worth it. And if he wants to play again, he's got the green light. Well, maybe he might get a Super League gig or he might play later in the year for Fiji. But slow and steady, I think.
Yeah, 100%. G'day, Vinny. Geez, a bit late over there in Kiwi land, but nice of you to join. Yeah, look, the Tui news sucks, but I think it more so sucks just because of the way it's gone about. Like, it was a stroke. It's not like, for me, this is what hurts because I honestly didn't think that with the way now, if we look at it, I don't think Tui's got a spot. Like, I don't see that there's a role for him anymore. So it sucks that he's missing out because of this medical stuff instead of, based off form or giving the ability for him to really push that line and push those kids like your Puhulus and Hetheringtons and stuff like that. Hetherington's not so much a kid, but, but at the end of the day, like, health first, like, he had a stroke. Like, this is not he didn't just pop his knee out or pop an Achilles or whatever. He had a freaking stroke, man. Like, and people die from that. So it's just health first. Let's leave it at that and move through with this one with the way it is. The list is Xavier Coates. Now we put up a post last week. Xavier Coates, Big X, is out for the season. Popped or re-aggravated or did something at training when he was on the way, and he's just had surgery. We put up a picture of him with surgery. How are you feeling about that, Aaron?
Like, obviously it sucks. Everyone in the whole Storm family were just waiting for X to come back. It was like going to be this injection of speed and talent that, was going to give us a little bit of air in our tyres for the rest of the season. But hearing that last week after the win against Newcastle obviously isn't great, and it sucks for X because he's put in all that time trying to get himself right and get ready. But I think, at the captain's run, apparently he was just jogging and it just like full blew out and snapped, which in one sense it's a bit of a double-edged sword because when you actually rupture your Achilles, they can salt back together properly and then you can go back to the full rehab. Whereas before he was trying to just strengthen it and it was always just that risk of going at any time. So at least now he knows what's ahead. He knows it's 8 to 10 months. He knows he misses the rest of the year. He misses the World Cup and now he can actually focus on getting his head right and getting himself right for next year. So it's a double-edged sword. We're going to get to see some more kids. Sure, we're not going to see X and that sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought he was coming back early, to be fair. Like, I know everything in the preseason said 9 or 10, but I know Coates' like we all know Coates' injury history, and he does like to have a bit of a slower recovery time, and that's okay. That's just the way his body works. I think it sucks as well for us. He would have been massive if he was able to get up and play this week. He would have been huge for us. Imagine him on the wings next to Chan even or Howarth if they're going to go back to that combination, and he would just make a world of difference off the back of 4 out of 5 wins. Yeah, it does hurt, but we play in a big game like this, in a tough game, and it's, there's some serious contact and some big injuries like that is just comes with it. It's just unfortunate that happened to us. Next on the list is Munster's new contract talk, Aaron.
See, I put here that Munster's off contract at November 1. He's already signed for next year, and the fact that we don't have him locked up for 2028, it just starts the media chat. And I don't necessarily think the Storm were any risk of losing Munster or or even Munster looking anywhere else necessarily. This is just the media knowing that one of the big names of the competition are available come November 1. And then they now put it out there that, unions come looking for Munster, or PNG's come and looking, or Perth's come and looking. And they just throw it out there to see what the Storm will do. And Matt Tripp got on the front foot really quick and just said, if Munster wants to stay, he can stay. And I think everyone understands that Munster's been there since 2015. He's earned every right to take a look at every contract the Storm will offer. And if he wants to take one that the Storm put up and it's not blowing the bank and it's not, going to affect the Storm too much, maybe a 2 more years max or something like that. But I don't think he gets a bigger contract. I think it's less money and it's a couple more years if he wants it. Or if he wants to chase the bag, and then, don't worry, there'll be plenty of options out there. PNG would pay him a mot, so he could go and take $4 million home in 2 years if he went there. So
set him up for the
he's
rest
got
of
option.
his life.
It's there. The option is there, and I don't think he'll take it. He's not going to take his wife and 3 kids over there, but who would begrudge him if he did? I mean, I want him to be a one club player, but he's done everything for the club.
I love the Mad Dog. He's one of my favourites. Have always stuck up for him. I have zero problems with him leaving if he was to leave. And I also have zero problems with the market now sitting there going, well, if Munster wants to go to PNG and he wants to leave to Perth to go set up those clubs, but also just get paid at the end of his career a bucket load of money, good on him. Like, I'm always about the players looking after themselves. I'm always about the players. If they get paid and someone's out there to want to pay them, they deserve it. The thing is, the difference being is that, would I like money to stay? Yeah, 100% I want the Mad Dog to be at the Storm, but I also want it to come with some pretty serious drop in cash, and I don't want it to come at the expense of a future player. So I think we just got to be very careful about that. Like, Mundy's got another year next year, and then what does he go into that year as a 35-year-old? Like, I think he'll
34,
be 30.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
34 into his last year, yep.
Yeah. So, like, it's, he can go out that way and do those things. Like, yeah, I don't begrudge it. I don't have a problem with him doing it. I would love to see it. But, yeah, I truly don't think he does go to PNG, but I wouldn't begrudge him at all. Next on the list is Katoa doing everything he can to return to playing the game. Now, we put out a post yesterday about this.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on the agenda setters on Channel 7. And look, I think that just makes it crystal clear that Katoa does want to come back. And from that interview, you can tell that he's not looking backwards. He's not worried about what happened in Tonga. He's not worried about if they've done wrong by him. What he's focused on and is returning to play the game that he wants to play. So from my point of view, that's where it's at the moment. There's been no medical yes, no. He says he's training well. I've seen photos of him today with the team training with no bib on. So, like, I don't know if that means contact or not, but it means he's out there and he's having a go. So as far as I'm concerned, that's good to see, because if we can get him back, he was our best player in the team last year, and he would be a huge asset come 2027.
Huge is an understatement. He's the best edge back rower in the competition. There are players like Hudson Young, who I love, Dylan Lucas I like, Ola Kawatu's become just something monstrous recently since Fosball's picked up, but I still think Ali Katoa is by far better than any of those with what he does in the air, how he runs, how he defends, and his skill with the ball in his hand. Each one of those other players have, like, Young is just a power runner. Ola Kawatu is a power runner with the high ball as well. Like, that, we're blessed at the moment for some wickedly good edge back rowers. Katoa is just a mix of every single one of them. And he's on our list, and he's one of the best, and he's the best. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see Katoa back in 2026. I don't, because I feel it just screams to me like being rushed. It screams like it's not right. There is still talk that he potentially could. I doubt it.
I listened to an interview.
I think it just came out today or something like that it's not going to be. But if that talk is there, we need to slam on that, because we don't want to see that. And 2027, get into a preseason and go nuts next year, and we will fly, because he will make a massive difference with the ins that we've got.
Oh, yeah. Next year, those edges look dangerous if we get him back. Keeley on one edge, Katoa on the other, and then if you can put Lisati back through the middle and you've got a bench with Lisati and Cooper Clark on it, that is deadly.
I'm I want Lisati to stay on the edge. I'd like Keeley to play a different role, but we'll talk about that in the preseason.
It's not going to happen.
I'd like to see it, but
he might move through there, but yeah.
I'd like. We'll talk about that come the preseason. All right, so just a quick one. We've got over the chats, and there's a big round coming up, but I want to give a quick sponsor shout out because today was the RBA. They put out their data and analysis and said that the rates are not changing for this set, so it's still at the 4.35. It's actually a pretty good time to give Con, who's our major sponsor from Freedom Finance, a call. If you mention Purple Rain, he will give you a $500 cashback. It's a perfect time because the banks are a little bit all over the shop. I got told today that Westpac said that they reckon the rates are going to go up. Commonwealth reckon the rates are going to go down. The NAB said the rates are going to stay the same. So all the banks are all over the shop. So it's a really good time to get in there and try and leverage it yourself. Now, this weekend is a round that is very deep to us and particularly myself. And it's called Let's Tackle Tough Together. And what we've got is it's a Melbourne Storm's initiative to tackle mental health. And on the forefront of Josh King, Will Warbrick, and is it Alec McDonald that's in the picture there. And we've got a new partnership, Aaron. So, Aaron, do you want to show something that you've got perfectly flapped across you? Look at that, 5/8. Here we go. I've got the same.
5/8. So basically, Trav got in touch with Jason there at 5/8, and their message is about your 5/8 being your closest mate, the person you can talk to, and it fits in perfect with this round. So we started talking with Jason. We said we really want to share his message and get that out there to everyone, that you can talk to anyone. You don't have to stay silent. You don't have to do it on your own, and it really fits this week with Kingy, Alec, and Will all coming out as ambassadors for the club on this one, and it's just the perfect time to announce this one, to be honest.
So I'm just going to try something here where, g'day Drake, I've not done this before, so let's see if this works. Wicked, here we go. So yes, so we're raising awareness for mental health ahead of Storm's Round 16 inaugural mental health round. And what we've done is we've decided to give 2 general admission tickets to the game under membership tickets. So to get in the draw of this, you've just got to get a mate who needs a pick me. If you've got a mate who needs a bit of a pick me up, tag your 5/8. Tag that person. Doesn't have to be a mate. Could be a girlfriend, could be your partner, could be a wife, could be a husband, could be grandma, grandfather, could be uncle, auntie, could be cousins. Brothers, sisters. We don't care. We just want to share the message out there. And if the ability for us to give two tickets away, which we're very happy. And Melbourne Storm, we contacted the Storm a couple of days ago. They're very keen to get on board. They've helped us out here as well. If we can get a couple of people there and spread the word of mental health and picking up a mate and looking after ourselves and looking after each other and just asking some questions, then we're at a winner. To be into this draw, all you have to do is tag that mate, tag that person, and you'll get in. If you would like to, we'll give a bonus entry. You don't have to, but we want to share and spread the message as much as possible. So if you can, get in there and share it. That'll give you a bonus entry to this. So it'll give you so you can get a maximum of 2 entries. But tag as many people as you can and share it if you're willing to. We're not asking you to share it, but if you can, that'd be fantastic. If this just reaches one person, and I've heard stories all over America. I've watched the ESPN 30 for 30s. I've watched all sorts of things, and I've heard that many stories of people who have, just seen a post, given a giveaway, won a ticket to a sports event, and it saved their lives. If we get the opportunity to do that for us, then this is well worth every cent that we've been able to put into this to get these tickets. The draw will be done on Friday night after the NRL game. Aaron, got anything else on that?
Just a couple of things there. There's on Gosh's paddock, there'll be free health checks for people to go get their blood pressure tested, and they'll learn. You'll be able to learn what your numbers mean. You'll understand your stroke risks. Fans will be asked to check in and communicate with the other fans there, and try and ask meaningful questions and start meaningful conversations with each other, just to remove that stigma about talking about your problems, because too often people think that it's hard to talk about your problems, or you need to keep them to yourself, and that's what just makes it worse. So there's also, they'll be selling $5 badges there, the Tackle Tough Together badges, that all the proceeds will go to Beyond Blue. So get around it, and $5 is nothing, guys. So if you've got a spare $5, buy a badge.
Yes, please. I've lost all my links, so I'm trying to figure it out as we go live. I'm now losing it again. Sorry, everybody. Like, I can see that we've got a few people. There's people in the comments, and I'm trying to figure out all these different posts and bits and pieces. Here we go. I'm back. Trav's back. All right. So TLT this week. We are playing on Sunday. It's at 4:00. What time does Gosh's Paddock open, Aaron?
I reckon it'll be about 12 o'clock. It did come out today. I didn't have a good read of it though. So yeah, it's out, but I haven't read it properly. But 12 o'clock, I'd assume.
12 o'clock. Alrighty. I'm just going to pull this one up. Screen. Window. And here we go. Alright, so TLT. Storm versus the Raiders. It's 11th for us versus the Raiders 13th. Been a while since we've played a team that's under us on the ladder. Starts kickoffs at 4:05 at Amy Park. There's a few ins for both teams. Big Origin ramifications about what's going to happen, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But we've got Sewer at the fullback with Warbrick and Leo on the wings, and Howarth and Chan. Howarth returns back from being a laid out at the last round, and Chan gets named to start at the centres. We've got Munster and Hughes. Munster named to back up from Origin and is starting. We've got props Stefano and Josh King, with Harry Grant named at the hooker spot to back up and start. We've got Cooper Clark and Lisati at the second row, with Trent Liero backing up and starting at lock. And off the bench, it's Trent Talau, Alec McDonald, Jack Hetherington, Josiah Pahulu, Sean Blore, and Tyrant Wishart returns from his ankle injury. On the Raiders side, it's the danger man, Kale Weeks. Played really well last week. I've really enjoyed what he did. Savalio Tamale returns. The hot Tamale returns back from his injuries, with Savage on the other wing. Seb, Chris, and Timoko hold down the centres. 5'8". In the halves, Ethan Strange is named to back up after he has now been... Laurie Daly named... Did I read today that Laurie Daly named him at second row?
He didn't name him. He said that's... He didn't name him there, but that's where he expects him to get some minutes. Now, I think Laurie Daly's off his head, but so does
Laurie Daly is off his head. Ethan Sanders at the halfback, with the big horse at prop and Tarpany, with Tom Starling in at hooker. Hudson Young named to start after he'll play 80 on the week tomorrow night. And then Hosking has been absolutely killing it at second row, with Jaden Brayley at lock. In the 14, on the bench, it's Paddy, then Mariota, then Smithies, then Laurie, then Stewart, then Vina Patuki Case. Aaron, there's a lot going on here. Let's talk about it. What's your initial thoughts?
Bit. Initial thoughts are, every time we play the Raiders, no matter where you are on the ladder, Ricky gets the Raiders up. He always loves this battle against Craig Bellamy, and Craig Bellamy always loves the battle against Ricky. So I'll forget about the 11th versus 13th, and I'll just treat this as a big game, because the Raiders have a good record coming to Amy Park, one of the better records as an away team. I think it's somewhere around nearly 50% win rate at Amy Park, which is, unheard of for the competition. So first of all that, but I am happy with the team, and I think it's pretty much how I expected it to go. It's good to see Howarth back, because that strengthens our back line a bit there, and a little bit shocked that Mania wasn't picked, and Chan was picked there at centre, but after finding out Mania had a low-grade syndesmosis this week at training, so I don't think he's too far away, but I was a bit interested to see that. So we didn't know that at the time, so I don't think we said anything when we announced the team list, but yes, that syndesmosis injury for Mania means that he is out. Joe Chan does come in the centres. I do like it. I like it. I like what Chan has done for us in the centres so far.
I'm very keen to see what happens with our two Origin boys, Munster and Grant. With the bench that's here, I reckon they're pretty much nominated to play most of the game.
Yeah, well, it looks like. I mean, they've got Trent Tolau there and they've got Wishy there on the bench. Now, personally, I don't necessarily think we need to carry both. If Wishy is good, I would take Tolau out and I would probably put another big bopper in there and I'd just keep Wishy there to cover Harry and to cover any of the back line if we need it. I mean, that's one option. I just think carrying both is a little bit risky, even though we haven't been using our full quota on the bench in weeks of late, so it might not matter, but it is a little bit risky in case something happens. The other one there is, like, I think Harry, he's going to play 60 minutes at Origin, but he's the captain and he knows the position this club's in. This game is, I say it every week now because they all are. Every week now is the most important week because of the position we've put ourselves in. So Harry will back up, and last time he had to back up, we played him, 60 minutes after Trent Tolau went off at the start?
Yep.
So, I don't know. I could see that happening again. I could see Tolau starting, or I could see Wishy starting and then Harry finishing off, or maybe just before halftime we might give Harry an early march and get either one of those two on to give him a little breather in the middle there and keep him strong for the back end.
I think it truly depends on how the game goes. If it's a close, tight one, Harry's not going anywhere. If it gets blown out a little bit, or we can get a bit of a lead, Harry might get a few minutes out and see what happens. But Harry's playing the full 80 here. I can't see him playing anything less than that unless something drastic happens. That's just my opinion. We can't afford it. Like, the 20 minutes him off, will absolutely kill us. So there's no reason. There's one reason why there's two actually, why we've been able to get so well with the wins of 4 out of the last 5. It's off the back of Harry Grant and his one-handed pickups. And how is Harry Grant able to do that? Because our forwards have been able to lay the platform. He's not going to the bench unless we really have to, or it's only he starts on the bench. I think there's that might be the only chance for me.
Yeah, and if that's the case, I definitely don't see the point in carrying Tolau and Wishy. So if Wishy is good, we just go with Wishy and Tolau misses out. But yeah, I see your point. I wouldn't be taking Harry off towards the end.
Mawali Khan or STB? It won't be STB.
No, it won't be STB. I think it'll be Mawali. I mean, he's been okay when he's played. So I think it would be Mawali if that happens. The other change that I can see happening, like Sean Ball, it confused me last time why they started him there and they played Clarkey on the second row, and it's confused me again. If he's good to go, let's get Sean Ball back to the edge. He's going to play 80 minutes there. Let's get Clarkey back through the middle and pump up his minutes to 55 minutes in the middle where he's a beast. So that's what I want to see happen. Do I think it'll happen? I don't. I think they're going to run with what they did last time, but I don't necessarily like it.
I actually am on the other side of the fence there, Azza. I'm sorry, man, but I love that Blaw's sitting on the bench, and I love that we're starting with Cooper Clark and Lisati against Young and Hosking. Young is a beast, and Hosking has been so good recently. I think Cooper Clark can come in, just be a big fella, lock it down through the middle and on the edge like he has been, play that really hard, kill off a bit of the energy, and then Blaw comes in, Clark goes on the bench, has his second stint in the second half and just goes through the middle and dominates. I'm very keen for that. It's pretty much what happened last time, and I'm very, very keen to see that.
Yeah, like it worked okay last time. I just think I'm happy to get 80 minutes out of Blaw and then let Kingy run the first 20, 25 minutes of the game. And then if Kingy can get through even 30 minutes, you can put Clarkey on for the last 10 minutes of the first half to make an impact, and then the second whole half you just leave him on there, and Steph comes on, and it's a Steph and Clark 1-2 combination, which is the future.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty happy with that myself too. Good night, Vinny. Thanks for hanging out with us so late over there in Kiwi land. Yes, Jen, the Raiders have had the wood on us at home for a while. She's hoping that it's due to change. Aaron, that's a good segue into what we are about to talk about in terms of some key matchups. Do you want to name the first key matchup that you see of this game?
Man, I just put Sewer versus Weeks,
Freaks.
And I said excitement personified. One of Sewer averages 5 tackle breaks a game and 203 metres, and Weeks averages 6 tackle breaks a game, but only 169 metres. It's like these two guys, if they get in open space, they are so exciting. So the Raiders love to throw the ball. I think they've got the most offloads in the competition. I think that's the stat I've seen. So most or second most offloads in the competition. So if they can get Weeks early ball, he can be dangerous. He's a line breaker, a game breaker. So it's the same on both ends of the field.
It's the only thing that's stopping Weeks from being really into this conversation is his inconsistencies. Weeks, when he has a game, is electric. It's like you'll watch that game and think he's going to be one of the best fullbacks in the competition, and then the next week he's not anywhere near it. And that's the thing. He's a young fella. He's still a stud to be, and he will get better, but he just needs to work on that inconsistency. Sewer has pretty much started to find the consistency now on both sides of the field, and he is starting to get that second phase play, that waiting for things to happen for him and then be the link up guy, and that has been huge. I think Sewer really needed to get into the bye last week. I reckon he's going to be so fresh and ready to go. I'm so keen to see this matchup.
I mean, he hasn't scored a try in 3 weeks now, and we're still been talking about how good he was, that's crazy, because at the start of the year, that's all that people worried about, how many tries he was scoring, and then they were questioning other things. Whereas now he's doing little things where, without scoring, he's still getting noticed and he's still getting talked about, which is great for us.
Next on this list is, funny enough, Munster. 2-3 weeks ago had after Origin 1, he played with and against. No, sorry, it was Harry Grant and Robson, wasn't it, that one? So now we've got another one. We've got Munster versus Ethan Strange. Talk to us about that one.
Well, I think you said it before, but who knows how they're going to use Strange? Like the talk of coming on in the second row, I mean, that probably means he's only going to get 10 or 15 minutes to try and make an impact. Or maybe they use him somewhere else in case there's an injury. But I think Strange will be fresh and he'll be keen to really have a crack for the Raiders, especially knowing the fact that he's coming up against Munster, who would have had to play the whole game. So Munster was great last week against the Knights too. I think, as we discussed, he made a few not errors, but just decisions that weren't great. But I think his last 3 weeks of football have really been on the right trajectory, and his leadership is what's really helping everyone else around him. So big battle here in the halves. Not just these two, actually, the other two as well. Sanders killed us in his little game in round 7. So both halves are going to need to play well and really direct us around the park and get us to the right positions.
I do hope that Munster just keeps doing what he has the last few weeks around his just play it simple. Don't overcompensate. Don't overdo it. Be chaotic. That's what we love about him. But just be chaotic in simple moments and pick those moments well. And if we've got that off the back of his Origin win tomorrow night, I'm not joking there. On the back of his Origin win, he's going to be fired up for Sunday. Like, he really is. And I'm so keen for that. I like your shout out around the Hughes Sanders. Sanders has been quietly underrated this year for people who don't watch anything other than the Storm. He's been pretty good. His kicking is good. His kicking game's good. He's been able to run a little bit. He's quietly underrated for what he's done. And as you just said, he did beat us in round 7.
Yeah, he's one from last game that really killed us, and the other one was Sasagi. And the fact that he's not playing and Seb Chris is going to be there, I like that. We don't have to put up against Sasagi again, but I still think that spot there is the dangerous one with Chan there. I get a little bit worried about his defense on the edge. I mean, he was better last week, but it's still going to be a spot for them.
Next key matchup is Lisati versus the superstar now in Hudson Young.
Yeah, I wrote David versus Goliath. Hudson Young, he'll play 80 definitely for Origin. There's no chance he gets a break. He's got 80 minutes in him every day of the week, so he'll come back from Origin and he'll have that. He's the leader of their. Well, he's not the leader of their pack, but he likes to really drill people, run those hard lines, and make people make decisions. So I think this is a good one. Lisati will be keen to see if he can take on the big wig.
He's definitely. I like your David versus Goliath, but our David in Lisati, I'm assuming that's where you've gone there.
Yeah,
is a bigger man. So Goliath wise doesn't quite fit, but also Lisati's been, like I said, Sanders has been quietly underrated. Lisati's been very underrated because he's been very good all year. Every game that he has played, I can't really pick any bad game that he's had. He's been fantastic.
His defensive numbers are right up there as well. And as I said, Hudson Young loves to find a line and really try and punch through the line and hit it at speed and then get through the other side. I think this is a good one. I think Lisati will be on a mission to handle him and make sure that Hudson Young doesn't poke his nose through.
Let's hope not, because God, Hudson Young can run a line. Damn, he can run that ball really well. I've got a matchup for you, and actually Drake stole my thunder here, but as he said, piss off Tarpany and you win the game. At his 250th last week, he'll be looking for a big game this week after what had happened last week. I think this Tarpany and Horsburgh versus Stefano matchup is one of my biggest for this game. I think these front rowers, like I've got some stats here, and in terms of line breaks, it's so funny. Like I couldn't read into these stats very well, but I'll read them out to you. So run meters, we are sitting 8th with 19,379 run meters. The Raiders are 3rd with a full 1,200 meters more than us. Not only that, the Raiders are running first at tackle breaks and are running just under us on line breaks. So they're getting good meters, they're getting great tackle breaks, but they're not breaking the line. But the stat that I think is the big kicker here is one thing that defensively we've been unable to that, like against the Bulldogs, the Carraz offload and the like was a killer. Against the Tigers, if they had a better team, they tried to offload, but you could see that we're having issues with defending the offload. We've had issues with defending the offload all year. The Raiders are 2nd in the competition with 151 offloads for the year. I reckon that's why their run meters is so good. That's dangerous, and that comes down to, I think, the forwards having to be really big for us on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and the Knights did as well. They threw the ball against us, and it caused problems. When they did, they scored points, and we discussed it after those games that second phase play and broken play for us really disrupts our line. Like, we've got our structure, and as soon as it breaks down, then the holes creep in. So yeah, I'm with you. That the Raiders will look to throw the ball, so we need to really make sure we wrap their hands. They're going to back into tackles and they're going to try and dump it out the back. And the reason why they make so many meters is because they've got such a big pack, like a massive pack that's so strong, and their back line is electric fast. Some of the guys in like Savage, Tamale, Tomoko, they're just lightning quick. So if they can get the ball out the back there and then skip on the outside, they're deadly.
Kaya Weeks, Ethan Strange, like there's just speed and power all over. And I feel like we're just repeating what we said in round 7, right? Is that we just have to stop the run. How do we stop the run this weekend?
It's line speed, it's field position, it's getting to a good kick and putting them in the corners and really pushing up there and trapping them in there and making them come out of tough spots. That's going to come with discipline. The last 2 weeks we've completed over 90%, and we've really reined in the penalties and 6 agains. And if we can do that, we can at least give ourselves a chance to play our style of football. So I really think discipline and getting to the right spots on the field is the key here, and playing football down their end of the park.
We're 3rd in the competition for missed tackles, Aaron, 560 all up. We can't be missing. That's what we did wrong in round 7, right? We just missed an enormous amount of tackles and allowed them just to run and run and run. And Sasangi just absolutely dominated us through that. We cannot miss tackles. One thing, and then the one thing that, as you just said before, that I think is really important to note is that over the last few weeks, we've made tackles. Our left and both of our edges, but particularly our left edge, has defended really well and attacked well. And our forwards have started to get good meters and lock down that middle. That's really important. That's literally our game plan and has been for a very long time.
I didn't say this after the game review against the Knights, but I think there was 10 blokes in our side that ran for over 100 meters. Now, at the start of the year, I think me and you went for 3 or 4 weeks in a row where we didn't even have one. So something's changed there, and the ability to pick up some meters or to find a way through or around the defense is there now. So I think we just need to keep poking our head in behind the ruck, keep getting Harry over the advantage line, and then use our backs because they're deadly.
Don't be rude, Drake. You're third. Wow, at least we top 4 for something. It's a funny comment. Well played there, man. Any other stats you want to talk about?
No, nothing coming to mind right now.
In terms of game plan, not only do we need to hold our tackles, limit 6 against their speed, one of the things that the Raiders are built upon is their dummy half run. And I think they're leading the competition. I was looking at this just before. They're leading the competition for dummy half runs, which absolutely helps what they do. I'm just going to pull that up now. Line breaks, run meters, tackle busts, offloads, missed tackles, errors, penalties, dummy half runs. They lead the competition for the most dummy half runs. And that for the Tom Starling Owen Paddy combination through the dummy half, or that hooker role, if you want to talk the new age position, but that's so vital to them. And if we allow that again to happen, we're in some trouble. Now, how do we stop that? Because no one really has been able to stop some of that dummy half run that they've been able to do.
Well, it's about the play of the ball speed, and that's going to come down to Trent. It's going to come down to Kingy, and it's going to come down to Harry, and it's going to be their job to really tie up the middle and do what they do. So that's when discipline comes into it, because these are the type of games where you've got these big forwards trying to run over the top of you, and you hold on for that little bit too long, and then you give that piggyback. And as soon as you give you the piggyback, they start playing over the advantage line. They start getting a roll on, and then you start getting tired because you have to make more and more and more tackles. So for me, it's about discipline in the middle and just at least leveling that playing field in the ruck and trying to slow them down from that quick play of the ball.
Shannon, with a very nice comment. Storm are completing at an elite level and keeping the errors low. I would say keeping those errors low recently. Raiders are the exact opposite, but they actually lead the comp in broken play meters. It's structure versus chaos in just pure numbers, which kind of alludes to what I sort of just mentioned there about dummy half and the fact that they have... The thing is, the Raiders have leading the competition, pretty close in run meters, yet line breaks, they're below us in line breaks. So they're getting good meters, but they're not breaking the lines as much, which actually goes down to the fact that they're not a scoring team like they were in 2025 when they led the comp and were minor premiers. This year, I think they're only averaging about 18 points a game, 18 or 19, somewhere there.
18, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. So 18 points a game. So is that literally the key to this?
Yeah, like that they're scoring 3 tries a game. 18 is what they've been able to score, and they're conceding 24, 25 points a game, somewhere in between there. So, like, I think this game is just don't let them attack from like Knights did it to us. Don't let them attack from the back end, because that's what they want to do. They want to get a break early in the field of play and then run the field of play and make their meters that way. So we need to make sure that when the ball's coming out of their end, we're onto it and we stick on our tackles early.
That is very well said. Anything else that you think we need to talk about in terms of how we win this game? What about us in attack?
I don't think we throw the ball. I think like we do need to score. We do need to put at least 4 tries on to win the game. But I don't want to be trying to manufacture it with with prayers. I think this week especially, the wing positions, both of them, they're up against shorter wingers. So I think this week the kick comes into play. I think we see Will Warbrick score in the corner there. I think there's going to be a clear tactic to put the ball up there and try and score off a kick. So I think we'll just work to positions on the field and then we'll just put it up into the corners and try and score that way if we can't get around them.
Yeah, I would like to hope that they kick the ball on top of Jed Stewart's head, just over and over and over and over and rinse and repeat and over again. Jed Stewart's a tall man, but he's vulnerable in the run. He's vulnerable.
Is he named on the bench though?
No, he's starting, isn't he? Or is it Tamale?
I think Tamale is. Tamale and Strange have been named.
Strange, Tamale and Savage. Oh, okay. Put the ball on top of Savage's head.
Sorry, Savage. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Put the ball on top of Savage's head. Either way, I think, well, yeah, because I did. I've got that wrong. Live on air, I've got it wrong. Jed Stewart's is the 18th man. I'll admit it. Chop it up, everybody. I'm not wrong very often. Aaron knows I'm not wrong very often. But, yeah, Stewart is definitely on the bench. We've got so Tamale and Savage. I would be keeping the ball out of Tamale's hands as much as possible, away from that side, and I'll be putting the ball on top of Savage's hands. Now, Savage is good. I actually rate Savage. He's underrated. Under a high ball, prone to getting the ball on top of him over and over again. And then if we can get some good kick chase, Savage is due for a drop or two. And the other thing too is I would rather Savage running for off the back of a fifth tackle kick than Tamale every day, every time. And keep the ball out of Weeks' hands off that as well.
Yeah, if we can, for sure. And as I said, the danger spot for me there is around Chan, just because of his lateral movement. He's a bigger body. I mean, he has been doing okay there last week.
Although they might swap
which
that
I think is, yeah, I prefer it if it stayed that way against Chris. I think it's a better matchup. But if it goes the other way, or even if they run the ball out there, that I worry about Chan's lateral movement there. So I hope he defends well, and I hope that edge just goes to another level there and can stop that run.
Rightio. Anything else you want to add to this?
No, I think we've covered it.
I think we have. All right, man. So Origin tomorrow. Put your prediction down. Go quick.
I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to say I want Queensland to win 18-16, low scoring, hopefully, and Queensland get it done. So there's game 3.
18-16, I just can't see it. I think all my bets are going to be revolved around at least over 40 plus in this game, which I think there's going to be some, like, what's the weather like there? It's pretty...
No, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be cold.
It was 20 today, wasn't it?
Oh, it was still freezing. The wind's horrible. Like, it didn't feel like 20. I know that much.
Classically good Melbourne weather, hey? The sun's out, but it's still horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, the weather should be all right. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I just think that Ashley Klein, everyone's favourite referee with a gambling problem, will make sure that this game it's close. He'll make sure that the entertainment is there. It's not a conspiracy, but that's just the way these things work.
Watch Ashley Klein referee and officiate this game the best he's ever done, just literally because of the gambling scandal that's just come out. I think the Maroons win. I reckon I'm going to go 28-22, and I've got a first try on Cobbo, and there is no injuries. There's not one sin bin in this game. I can just see it. I wish I could bet on that. If I could bet on that, I'd be all over it.
You're going to hate me here, but now I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with my head. I think New South Wales flog them.
Oh, man, I'm
I do.
Into it. Yeah, Lauren, go Queensland. You tell this fool beside me to be quiet, Lauren.
The way that I see it is New South Wales scraped through game 1 and got very lucky if you ask me. They were down, they were out, and it took a bad decision to get them into the game. I call it a bad decision. Whether you do or not, it's different. But I thought that one decision got them back in the game. And the fact that they're going into this game knowing they were the worst team in game one just puts a fire in their belly. So I think Queensland really need to lift their level to go with New South Wales. So hopefully I'm wrong and hopefully Queensland win. But bringing Payne Haas into that side, in that mindset, it's a bit scary.
I'm not fussed by it. I really not. Like we were by far and above the best team in that game, and the only reason why they got back was because we had to defend for 35 minutes with one man down. And in the end, that just absolutely killed us. With the Queensland team just didn't have the energy to continue to manage it. I do think Billy stuffed up a little bit too. With Jessica Klein is reffing it. I think Billy messed up with his centre and that interchange spot that he did when Ponga went out, but he put Capewell out in the centres, which left him out as an island. He found out that he wasn't quick enough. Billy tends to make bad decisions and learns from it and doesn't make it again, and that's cool.
I think his plan there was that we're far enough in front that we can just defend our way home, and that's why Trent got such bigger minutes in that game. And I think he thought that he'd be able to defend his way home, and like barring 30 seconds or 20 seconds, they did do enough to, it was just a great catch by Teddy, and Hammer made a little mistake there on the take, and it was close, it was exciting, but
the thing is that New South Wales needed a man down and a wicked play by Teddy to do that in the last play of the game to win. I just think Queensland walking in with absolute confidence.
No, look, I agree with you there. And the thing, like when New South Wales started that game, I've never seen Toto drop the ball 3 times in 3 years.
Crichton.
I mean, Crichton, like all these things just went wrong for New South Wales, which can happen, and that's footy. You've got to get yourself out of it. But I just can't see New South Wales being that bad again with the ball. So this game's going to go to a whole new level. If Queensland want to win this, they're going to have to be better than they were in that first 20 minutes. And that's why I just hope they go for the attack and they go the jugular and just really go for the game. Because if they rest on their laurels from game one, they're not going to be up for it. The intensity.
I love what Drake said. I love it. Munster lost his dad last year, put a fire in Queensland, and they come out and beat them in game 2 over in Perth, and then game 3 in Sydney.
Yeah, it's huge.
Tino lost his dad 2 days ago. Queensland will be on fire. Rip to both of those guys, he said. But hopefully that's just another little.
I agree with that comment. I agree with that comment. It's definitely going to bring something to the team.
We'll get into the comments on the page. There's only a couple. Mate, I think this was a success. Our first live show. It's only going to get bigger and better. I will admit I'm nervous as anything that I've ever been more nervous. I don't think I wasn't even nervous when I married my wife at that wedding, and I'm more nervous here than I was then. It was a tough go, but geez, I loved it. I've done it now. I've broken that back, and I'm ready to fire up as much as we can. It won't be every week. It's dependent. Like, you've got basketball next week, so we might see what happens. We've got the Sunday game at 4:05. We may end up popping up for a live show at 7:30 Sunday night or something like that. We'll see what happens.
I think we will. I think that's the way to go. Just one last shout out. Let's give one more shout out to Josh at City Sports. He's another sponsor for us. He's been donating the jerseys that we've been giving away. So City Sports there. If you need any gear, any merch, go see Josh. He's a good dude, and we're happy that he's on board with us and giving us some prizes to give away to you guys. So get in there, support him.
Yes, taking the day off, I assume everybody for Origin tomorrow. So get down there, get your Queensland jerseys. Look, if you have to buy a New South Wales one, I mean, I guess you're probably just going to buy it just so it can get off Josh's shelf. But go Queensland tomorrow, and let's go Stormies on Sunday afternoon, and stay tuned to see what we do with our podcast on Sunday night. See you, everybody.
Thank you.
Get around 5/8. Mention Purple Rain 10 and you get that discount. This stuff is absolute fire. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good. How good is it? It's a good shirt.
It feels
genuinely
so nice.
Yeah, genuinely, not just because he's given us one to wear on the show. Not just because of that. It's actually they're premium.
Mate, it's so good. Well, we got the jumpers delivered yesterday. We did a picture for that. It was they are so warm, so good. It'd be perfect for New South Wales and Victorians. Good for a few weeks up here in Queensland, and it was awesome. Thank you, everybody, and get around the Storm on Sunday for the mental health round. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.